first round of questions, this is going to go to the congressional candidates. And this is a more broad philosophical question about how Congress should run more so than what your opponent is doing wrong. So from a historical standpoint, this Congress is the most do-nothing Congress, at least since the decade before the Civil War, if not ever. What can you do if you get there? What can any congressman or congresswoman do with a Congress that does not want to do anything? And I'll start with allies.
We want 2 minutes for response.
Yeah, 2 minutes for you.
Wait for that? Okay. The first thing that has to happen when you go to Washington is you got to break the template that we're currently working under. And thanks for saying that, because you know who told me that was Senator Kramer. Just the other day at a Right to Life dinner, he said this is the most, I mean, that's pretty sad, right? And maybe he'll come on and support me. So in saying that, we'll find out. In saying that, so what you need to do in November, if you're elected, and start in June 9th, if I get through the June 9th primary, I'm going to start writing the 12 basic outlines for the bills we're supposed to put in the budget. 12 single issue bills for the budget. It sounds boring, but that's a congressman's job, right? Is to write the budget and to keep it balanced. So if you start now, by November, you can meet with the Coalition of Farmers. I've already got 8 or 10 ranchers and farmers I've been talking to, not corporate, who can help write that. And if you don't think the farmers know how to write a farm bill, let me tell you what, it's pretty great. So get those bills written, those templates ahead of time, and put them in format. And then walk into Congress as a freshman and throw it out there and say, I got this little bill, and it's written by the #1 ag state. And they say, you can't do that. You take your seat over here and be quiet. And I'll go on the steps then. This is what I think you should do as a congressman, and say, I got this great bill, they don't want to listen to me. And instead of going and pandering here, I'm going to fly back to North Dakota and talk to them. That's what you have to do. But there's something else. 91 congressmen and congresswomen voted for transparency in Congress. 351 voted against it about those sex crimes. So that tells you something. There are people back there with the backbone. You got to be a leader and then let them follow us, though. We don't need to follow them. We can drive this whole leadership thing. And I think that anybody who's been a leader before knows you got to stand up and take some hits so people get behind you. That's how we start, and that's how we break the back of Congress. Now, can we do it right away in 6 months or a year? Maybe not. But I'll tell you what you can do is you can change the paradigm, and people will start looking to us for leadership because they want leadership. We can change it. That's what I believe. Thanks.
So the issues that we came here to talk about tonight are not unrelated to the reason that Congress isn't working. One thing we could really use right up front is a clean gerrymandering bill to make it illegal at every level of government. And then we got to start getting some of these, we got to rein in the money that comes into these campaigns. It should be illegal to take money from AIPAC. Israel's a foreign country. Do I see them as an ally? Yes. Do I see them as always a good actor in the world? No. I think they've done some truly horrific things at times. And we have to get these. There was you look at Thomas Massey down in Kentucky. He just lost. AIPAC put a bunch of money in against him. There was super PAC money that came flooding in. We're spending so much on these elections. So, and what you end up with are these people who feel like they are in safe seats. And as long as they think they're in safe seats, they're not going to be responsive to the people. Now, when you go to Congress, you have your major caucuses, but you can also caucus with people on different issues. And that's how you pull things together. And like Alex said, you have to use your voice. Where has Julie Fedorchak been? Where has Kramer been or Hovind been? They don't say any, they see something and refuse to say anything. They sit on their hands, keep their mouths shut. And that has got to change. You have a platform when you go to the Congress. And it's high time someone used it to represent North Dakotans.
Thank you. Well, the first thing I would do in Congress is put forth a bill that nobody seems to want to do. There's no trading. There, you report everything, and that just doesn't happen. This is, I think, the most a congressional team that has been sheep. They've done nothing, they've passed nothing, the least amount of bills in all of Congress. But yesterday, the story broke, Speaker Mike Johnson, he was upset because $286,000 a year wasn't enough for his family. He failed to mention that they get $5,000 for housing allowance, $89 a day for them to eat. They're on the Obama plan, but they pay $23 a month, but people pitch in, they're getting that paid for as well. And then one of the craziest facts that most sitting Congress people and Senate, they have 30 to 60 people on their staff, paid staff. Some are home in their district or their state, and then the bulk of them are there. Talk about hemorrhaging money. That's, they talk about getting rid of
30 seconds.
okay, sorry.
No, you're good.
You always make me nervous. And well, I'll catch up on the next one, but I just wanted to say, I'm sorry I'm not standing. Today was the first day off of my cruise for a broken heel. Thanks.
We'll allow it.
This is great.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing we got 3 mics there, and I think we do have extra batteries somewhere if we need them.